Hello, my name is Alex, and I am a multidisciplinary artist based in Montreal from Venezuela. And this is my first video outdoors. I hope you can hear me well. I am currently very uncomfortable because I'm not used to making videos outdoors and, people walking by. But it's actually part of the subject that I want to talk about today. So it's a very good way of me practicing what I'm preaching. And today I want to talk about rawness. Raw. I love this word. I love the concept, and I've really been thinking about this a lot in this past few months. And let's just, explore what rawness means. Like, what images come to mind when you hear that word? What I think of, first of all, is food, We can say that your most raw self could be the most uncooked version of yourself. But it can also be just the most tender part of yourself, the most vulnerable, the most unfiltered, the most primal part of yourself. That's how I connect to the energy of rawness. Or even another image that came to mind is to imagine a white canvas, perfectly white. And then you put these little dots of different colors of paint, and they're all orderly and all nicely put. And then you look at it and you just take your hand and smash it all over. And to me, that's a little bit the energy of rawness, just not thinking, not caring so much, and just letting yourself move in a very intuitive, in a very primal, in a very almost somatic way. Why do I want to talk about rawness right now? And honestly, why am I making these videos as an artist? I've been talking about emotions. I've been talking about compassion, bravery, about, all these little tips and tricks. What I've mentioned in my past videos is that I'm actually just wanting to share with you the journey of building my dream life and the things that I've learned along the way. And I feel that these tips and tricks are not only for artists and creative people, which is everyone, but it's not only in the context of art and creativity. It's in the context, and it's beneficial for anyone. So if you don't identify as an artist, it's okay. This is going to help you. I want to share today something that I have learned in the past months. And in the past months, I've been in situations that have felt like cyclone. I don't even know if that's a word, but let's say just a tornado that came, a chaotic wave with a lot of challenges that really pushed me to be at what I guess I call, or what is closest to, a primal version of myself, or be connected to my primal needs and really notice what those primal needs are. And I'm talking about like sleep, I'm talking about eating, I'm talking about exercising, and even then, I'm just talking about like the most, I'm talking about affection as well, and physical touch, and all those just really primal needs that we have as human beings. And in my past video about anger, I mentioned that I had never felt that I have expressed myself in this way in the past. And I don't mean that in the past I was wearing necessarily masks, but I feel that, within a society we are, whether in a big or subtle way, somehow and sometimes filtering ourselves. So there's a really cute dog. So what I meant by this, because it sounded like I was being fake in the past and now I'm not being fake anymore, and it's really not that, you know. It was more, and the example that came to mind after I made the video was some time ago, recently, I had a really difficult day, and just had a really difficult day, and I was coming back home extremely exhausted, extremely disappointed, frustrated, tired, and there was a little moment or a little space where I could, like, from, you know, receiving some news and then walking to the place that I needed to walk to, there wasn't anyone, and I just let myself cry and, you know, express myself. But then as I was approaching, like, the metro to take, like, the next, you know, the route back home, in the past, I feel I would have, you know, like, kind of like paused that crying or that emotion and then let it out again when I'm back home. And now I was so tired and exhausted and done that I was like, I'm not gonna stop crying, you know. I'm not gonna stop showing this emotion because I'm in the metro, like. And I'm not talking about, like, cute little tears, you know, like that you see someone cry in a wagon. I was sobbing. I was having such a bad time, and the whole ride I sobbed back home. And that's what I mean by not filtering myself. It's somehow the discomfort and the uncomfortable situations I have been in that have touched me and that have really touched the button of primal needs have pushed me to also express those needs, even though it's extremely uncomfortable for me. And it made me think about a couple of things. Again, connecting back to our needs as human beings, those primal needs: sleep, nutrition, love, affection. Those needs we have since the day we're born, since the day we come into this world. And they are still there. Those needs still exist. And somehow we think that as adults, we have to somehow, you know, like, hold back on that, or hold them back a bit, or not express them, or grow out of them. But we still have those needs. And, like, for instance, I was just having a little moment of meditation when I was going through these things. I was specifically going through a lot of sleep problems and insomnia, and was having a really just hard time. Like, every day I felt absolutely exhausted. And I kind of meditated, and it's kind of nice that I'm here next to the trees because I just love their energy, and it really roots me back in. Right now I'm actually kind of like cradled in the whole system of roots. But basically, I meditated, like, next to a tree and started wondering why babies, and specifically like newborns and just babies, are able to sleep so profoundly with so much chaos and noise and movement around them. And the answer came to me, or at least an answer that makes sense to me. And the answer was because they don't care. Because they are literally in such a vulnerable and survival and primal position that if they don't cry, they're going to die. That if they don't tell you what their needs are, they are going to die. And the same as if they don't sleep, they're going to die. If we don't sleep, we're going to die. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I feel that it's a sense of not caring, but it's a sense of also trusting that they are in a safe space where they can, you know, that they are going to be taken care of, and they can allow themselves to let go completely and rest very profoundly. So in that same sense of not caring, this is where it's interesting when we become, or we become okay and acquainted to the fact that we are now adults. It's like, okay, let's just go back. We have the same primal needs that we did when we were a newborn baby. That's a fact. And now we are adults with a lot of experience. We have abilities to communicate. We have empathy towards others. How can we combine those two things? When I talk about not caring, it's not being reckless, and it's not caring about how our actions affect other people. When I talk about not caring, is not caring about judgment of others. When babies cry, they don't care what you think of them. Because again, if they don't cry, you're not gonna know what their needs are. They don't care if they're too loud. They're gonna tell you what their needs are. And in that same way, in a maybe less primal way, we as adults have the responsibility before anything of taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies, and expressing what those needs are to others in a diplomatic way, in a caring way, in an empathetic way. And yeah, that's just a little thought that I've had, and it's really pushed me to be in situations like this. Literally right now, like I'm in a park recording a video and there's people walking around me, and in my head I'm just thinking like, oh my God, what are they gonna think of me? But I'm doing it. And I think slowly but surely it's gonna become a little easier, because ultimately it's just so you're the first person that knows what your needs are, and that should honor and value what you have to say. So to voice your opinion and to voice your thoughts without caring for other people's judgments, because ultimately it's you, and it's your survival, and it's your well-being. More than survival, it's your well-being at this point. So yeah, it's kind of a weird subject, but I wanted to share that because it's really been present, and it has helped me in some way. And as creatives and artists, in whatever way, in whatever medium, we are expressing an idea. And we may face many times the fear of what others are going to think of what we do, what we say. And I think it's very important to, before anything, be connected with yourself, with your needs, and hold that ground for yourself. And express those needs, not necessarily without fear, but in thinking, in trying to embody that newborn that doesn't care what they think, what people think of them. Because the need is more important than what people think of them. I'm just gonna check my notes quickly to see if there was anything else I wanted to say. No, that's it. It's a shorter video, but it's what I wanted to share. It's the idea I wanted to share with you today. So I hope it resonates, or I hope it helps you on your own journey and on your way, and slowly but surely feel more and more comfortable in expressing your truth in a healthy way towards yourself. Okay, maybe before we end, expressing your truth. What is your truth? This may be another subject for another time, but your truth can be, yes, your emotions and what you're feeling in that specific moment. But I also want to add that your truth, according to me, not a specific definition, but your truth is anything that is left when you take away the distortion of hurt and pain. That is your truth. Just think about Just think about that 2 seconds. Like, your truth is important. Your experiences are important. Your needs are important. What you're feeling is important to voice. But do keep in mind that your ultimate truth is behind the distortion of your hurt and your pain. I don't know why I'm saying this either. This is a very weird message. Video might resonate with some. It's different. I don't know, but it's part of it. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope it helps some of you or entertains some of you. In any case, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.